All right, y'all, welcome back to my channel for episode 2. Today's topic is going to be on chakras. Now, there's several chakra systems, but to keep it easy and basic, we'll go over just the 7 chakra system. That's the main chakra system. But we'll talk about that, like I said, and as I go on and release more information, we'll go in more in depth in the different chakra systems, how they work, meditations, and things like that. So, of course, what we'll talk about is what chakras are. We'll talk about, the names of the 7 chakras, what they're associated with, and I'll also talk about how to balance your chakras and what it looks like when your chakras are unbalanced. But we'll go ahead and dive into the first topic. Like I said, go ahead and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the bell as well, so you guys don't miss any of the topics that I release for you guys. I'll have the subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen for you guys for the whole video, so that way you guys can click on it whenever you feel. But we'll go ahead and jump into the next topic. We'll go ahead and talk about the chakra system. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and jump into the topic of the day. So to start things off, I'm just going to explain what the word chakra means. So chakra is a Sanskrit word that means wheel. So basically your chakras are an energy wheel. Or in other words, some of the books I've read, they say it's a point in the body in which your energy meets. Now, every living being has a chakra for the most part, or a chakra system for the most part. Now, Dr. Valerie Hunt, she's a professor at UCLA, or was a professor at UCLA. She actually was able to record a biomagnetic field from someone, or the aura off of people, and ended up finding that the chakra system actually does exist. In 1975, she was able to record the colors, she recorded the sound, and she recorded the frequency. And it turns out that the chakras actually vibrate at the frequency of the colors that our ancestors thought to have believed the chakras were back when they were doing, whatever they were doing with the meditation, the ancient Egypts, the Eastern culture, all of them, when they came up with this stuff way back in ancient times, knew the colors of the chakras with whatever technology they had, if they had the technology or if it was just knowledge, but the chakras match. Now, there is also another professor. His name is Konstantin Korotkov. He's a Russian professor. He invented a thing called the Biowell. Now, I'm going to drop 2 links for these two. The one link is going to be for Dr. Valerie Hunt. Is going to be a link to take you to a video that actually shows a recording of the aura and of the biomagnetic field. The second link is going to be for Mr. Professor Korotkov. He's going to have a link to the website for the Biowell that actually explains how it works. So what the Biowell does is basically you put your finger on a little sensor, and it sends an electromagnetic shock to your finger, enough for your body to send energy back to it, and it actually is able to record and measure your chakras and what chakras are in balance and what chakras are out of balance and where they're at, how out of balance they are, and things like that. So it's really expensive. I plan on getting one, hopefully eventually soon. With those were some words that go together. But anyway, I do plan on trying to get one myself, because I think that's pretty cool to kind of know, what chakras are out of balance. Now, there are other ways that you can determine what chakras are out of balance, and we'll also talk about those as well. But to touch on the 7 chakras, we'll go over what those are and just a few things that they're associated with. So you have your root chakra, which is red. That's associated with your connection to Mother Nature, your survival, how well your basic needs are met. So food, water, shelter, pretty much. If you feel safe in your environment where you're at home. So basically, if you're unsafe at home, you feel ungrounded, you're not connected to spirit or nature, you might be having some financial stress, things like that, your root chakra could be out of balance. Then you got your sacral chakra. That's your creativity, your sexuality, your identity of, your sexuality, your relationships with your spouse, with your friends, your partners, sexual relationships, all types of stuff. That can be that's orange. That can also be out of balance, if you're addicted to porn, if you're addicted to sex, things like that. You got your solar plexus, that's yellow. That comes with your willpower, your confidence. So if you have self-esteem issues, your solar plexus could be out of balance. Now you got your heart chakra. That's your compassion, your love. Now that's not the sexual stuff. That's more for the compassionate love, your love for your other human beings, things like that. So if that chakra is out of balance, you could probably feel drained from giving too much love, or you can feel like you're not loved enough, things like that. A person who is opened and your heart chakra is in balance and everything will never feel like they've given enough compassion or too much compassion. If you have that thought in your head, then your heart chakra is most likely out of balance because you can never give too much compassion. Now you also have your throat chakra, which is blue, turquoise. That's with your communication, of course. Your ability to tell the truth, your ability to find the truth, your ability to see the truth, things like that. And your ability, like I said, to communicate, how you communicate, and your confidence in communication and things like that. Now you also have your third eye, of course. Now that's connected to your pineal gland. We'll touch a lot on that when I do the video separately for each chakra. But to keep things simple, that's your intuition, connection to your intuition, connection to see through the veil, see through people's bull crap, things like that. Then you have your crown chakra, that's purple. That's your connection to the divine, connection to the higher power, your trust in the higher power, your trust in the universe, things like that as well. But we'll, like I said, touch more on each chakra individually because I'm going to release an individual video to touch base on each chakra. Because like I said, didn't want to keep my videos too long, wanted to keep them about maybe 10 to 15 minutes long. But we'll also touch on, balancing your chakras, how to balance your chakras, and what it's like when your chakras are unbalanced. So I'm also going to drop links to all the books that I've read on the chakras and things like that, and some of the documentaries I've watched, the people I follow, so that way you guys know exactly where I'm pulling my information from as well. But basically, to touch on balancing the chakras. So all of our cells are constantly vibrating. That actually gives the illusion of being solid. We're actually not solid. At the very small microscopic level, we are individual cells that just move really fast and give us the illusion that this is solid. But in reality, we really aren't. But our chakras are constantly absorbing the vibration and the energy that's around you and in your environment, pretty much. So when you are, for example, so someone who might have a really strong root chakra, right? It could be, now this is just something that could be happening. You might have red around you a lot. So if you feel like you have a very strong connection to nature, you have a very strong will to survive, like not will to survive, but like it comes easy. Survival comes easy, things like that come easy. Financially, you're good and things come easy. Kind of take a look around and notice and see if there's a lot of red around you, because that would your root chakra would absorb all of that. So your chakras are always absorbing energy from the environment around you. Now, Western medicine still doesn't really acknowledge the spirit body. We're all still about the medicine, taking care of the physical body. But unbalanced chakras have actually been directly connected to physical illness, mental illness, dysfunctional behavior. So for example, when I was going through the chakras, if your sacral chakra is out of balance, you can end up being addicted to pornography. Or if your sacral chakra is drained, for example, any trauma can cause your chakras to be unbalanced. So sacral chakra is a perfect example. Any sexual abuse would throw your sacral chakra out of balance. Then you'd be addicted to sex, or you might not come out to people about sex. You might not want to be touched much, things like that. So your sacral chakra 9 times out of 10 is going to be out of balance. Pretty much almost 100% of the time, your sacral chakra will be out of balance if you've ever been involved in any type of sexual abuse. But like I said, those things have been associated with mental illnesses, physical illnesses, cancers, things like that. But we'll touch, like I said, on what organs each chakra is associated with and all of that stuff when I go on to them individually. And then we'll talk about, what kind of illnesses each one comes with, how to notice when that chakra is out of balance and stuff like that. Because like for your throat chakra, easy one, strep throat, things like that. If your throat is sore, if you meditate on your throat chakra, you could probably heal that. But we'll go over some ways that I have my notes here. We'll go over some ways that you can get your chakras in balance. There's 7 ways that I've found. Pull this directly from a book, but each book I read pretty much had some of these, if not all of these reasons or ways to balance your chakras. So I just pulled it directly from the single book. But the 7 ways is first one is meditation. Now with meditation, you want to do visualization. So what I mean by that is if you're meditating on a specific chakra, then you're going to want to visualize that color of that chakra. So say I'm meditating on my root chakra. When I close my eyes and I meditate, a lot of times what you would want to do is just meditate maybe a red energy spiral spinning or something like that. And maybe you connecting to Mother Nature, connecting to the earth and getting energy from the earth or from the environment around you, feeding that red energy. And as you do that, your subconscious or your consciousness will start to absorb that red energy. And then now you're meditating on that chakra. Now, another way is yoga. Yoga is more for physically opening the chakras rather than, balancing them or something like that. So like a Kundalini type, going more into that. I'll have a whole video on just Kundalini. Basically is the energy system that goes up the chakras, and that's what opens up when you end up having a spiritual awakening. So a lot of yoga classes teach Kundalini awakening meditations, and that goes along with the yogas. But you got vocalizations. So as I spoke about earlier, with vocalizations, each chakra vibrates at a specific frequency. So if you do a mantra or if you do an affirmation, I'm connected to nature. That's your root chakra. Boom, an affirmation. You keep telling yourself that over and over, your subconscious will eventually get it. We live 5% of our lives in consciousness. So only 5% of the day we are operating consciously. 95% of the day, this is a fact, 95% of the day, we are operating out of our subconscious. We are in autopilot. Because when you're thinking about something, whether it's a bill, whether it's what happened yesterday, whether it's anything that's not about the present moment, which is why I stress the present moment so much. If you're not in the present moment, your subconscious has taken over and your body's in autopilot. So feed your subconscious affirmations that you want to wire your brain so that way when you're in autopilot, your subconscious is doing things that you want it to do, not things that maybe you learned, when you were a child or through school. So do the affirmations. I am connected to nature. I'm connected to nature. Keep telling yourself that, and eventually your subconscious will get it and it'll say, oh, I'm connected to nature. And naturally it'll happen and you'll be connected to nature and your root chakra will naturally be in balance. But affirmations are great. I do them, and that's something that really has helped me through a lot. But also you got breath work. Breath work is a big one. So oxygen can't really, put the importance on oxygen. It keeps us alive. But if you actually, a lot of us don't breathe the way we're supposed to. Like, actually take a breath of oxygen and not just the normal day-to-day. We don't even breathe the way we're supposed to, like I said. But if you actually do breath work, there's yoga where you can do breath work, meditations where you can do breath work. You breathe in, hold your breath for a few seconds, let it out, breathe in, hold it in for a few seconds, let it out. There's a guy that I follow called the Iceman, Wim Hof. I'm gonna have a whole video on him too. He does a lot breath work, cold showers. I know that sounds crazy, but there's a whole science behind it. This man has literally changed biology books. So I'll have a whole video on him as well. So breath work's a big deal. Also food. Food is a good one. With food, there's like I said, in each video about the chakras, I'll touch on what foods are good for that chakra. But the basic, easiest way to know what foods are good for each chakra is color. If it's the color of the chakra, 9 times out of good, it's good for that chakra. But there's other foods that aren't the color that are good for other chakras, and vice versa. But also color, like I just touched with the food. If you wear that chakra or that color of that chakra, or you have that chakra color surrounded around you, that'll help you gain energy in that chakra, because you'll naturally drain whatever's around that color, that vibration that's around you. So that's a good way to do it, wearing the color and having the colors around you in your room with curtains. Maybe if you meditate and have a specific area where you meditate, put the pillows of that color, that chakra, throw some curtains up, put artwork up of that color while you're meditating. And then every time you're meditating on a different chakra, change the colors and change the decorations. I do that every once in a while. I have red, blue, and things like that. But that's a good way to get your chakras in balance as well. Now, balanced chakras, like I was saying before, they have shown signs of helping with physical, mental, and spiritual health. The ancients believed it, and now they're actually finally doing experiments and science on it to determine that it's a real thing. There's this thing called Reiki healing, which is what I'm getting into as well, where you can do energy healing with your chakras. They actually did an experiment in 2006 and 2008 on lab rats, where they stressed out the lab rats, caused them to have stress and anxiety, and got a Reiki healer and did Reiki on the rats. And they showed lower levels of stress and anxiety. They did a fake Reiki session on the placebo rats and nothing happened. Now they also have a machine where they scanned a Reiki healer's hands and actually found that there was energy pulsating from his hands, and it was regenerating energy, where they was actually able to regenerate any part of the body. So this stuff is real, man. This energy healing, chakra system, all this stuff is real. There was another experiment where there were cancer patients that had 4 years to live, and they did a meditation on their chakras for an extended period of time. And just from that, they ended up picking it up as a daily habit. And I can't remember the exact number, but some of them actually survived and lived past the 4 years, and so on and so forth. So this stuff is not for play, dude. Like this stuff is real. The chakras, that's why I want to put this information out there, because if you don't believe me, like I said, the ancients believed it. Check it for yourself. If you don't want to wait till I put out the videos on each chakra, on how to balance each chakra, then go look it up. But I'm putting those videos out, and if you want to try it for yourself, I'm gonna have meditations in each one of those videos to balance that chakra. And I'm going to walk y'all through, or not walk you through, but tell you what you can do in your meditation to balance that chakra. So try it for yourself if you don't believe in it. Check for yourself. What can it hurt? It ain't going to hurt nothing. It does nothing but help, and science has proven it. But that's all I have for y'all for today, because I don't want to make it too long. But the next video that I'm going to touch on, of course, is going to be the root chakra. Then I'm going to work my way from the bottom on up. And we'll touch bases on the next video on how that chakra specifically works in your body. And I'll touch on way more than I touched on today. But, again, definitely appreciate you guys tuning in for episode 2. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here at the bottom of the screen. Hit the bell so you guys don't miss the videos on the individual chakras. We'll talk about astral projection coming up soon. I've read a few books on that. And we'll talk about so much more. So excited to share so much information with y'all. Definitely appreciate the support. I'll see y'all soon. Have a great day. Love, blessings, and peace to you guys.